Levi here, the Outdoor Cowboy. Welcome back to the channel. And today we're doing some outdoor boys cooking. We're going to be talking about and trying out some of the most famous recipes that Luke from the Outdoor Boys would eat when he was out survival camping. So let's get cooking Outdoor Boys style and saddle up for the ride. So like I said, today we're going to be making 4 recipes that Luke from the Outdoor Boys would often make when he was in the outdoors. All the way from breakfast to meals to dessert. We're going to be talking about some of the most famous meals that he would make, variations of it, how you can make it, and we're going to be talking about how good they taste. And for family-friendly videos like the Outdoor Boys, make sure to subscribe to the Outdoor Cowboy YouTube channel for more wholesome and family-friendly outdoor videos every week. And there is no place to start other than with bread and honey butter. To make the famous Outdoor Boys bread and honey butter, we're going to fill our bowl with a bunch of bread flour. Then we'll make a little hole in the middle and put some yeast in. We will then add some sugar to the middle to help activate the yeast, and then just a pinch of salt around the edge. Then we'll add a little bit of warm water to the middle, and we can just give it a little quick mix with our finger to help the yeast activate. And then we'll let it sit for about 5 minutes and wait till the middle gets all bubbly, and then we'll be ready to start mixing. We can then start to mix our dough. We'll mix our ingredients and slowly add some more water to try to get it to a good consistency. We'll keep mixing for a while and adding little bits of water until it's a consistent and sticky dough. The amounts of the other ingredients don't matter too much, but it is important to add the right amount of water. So just go slow and be patient while mixing. Once it's at a good consistency, we'll pull the dough out of the bowl and just knead it on the counter until it stops sticking to our fingers. This might take a while. It took me about 20 to 30 minutes just to get it to a really good consistency. But once we do this, we're ready to throw it in a bag and put it in the fridge to wait for it to double in size, which takes about an hour or 2. At this point, we have a couple of options. We can either take it out of the fridge and use it immediately, and it will work great, or we can leave it in the fridge for up to a few days and use it whenever we would like, which is what we're gonna do when we go to our off-grid cabin tomorrow. All right, and on to the second Outdoor Boys meal that we're gonna make is gonna be a tinfoil dinner. And these are awesome just because of how versatile they are. You can cook so many different things in a tinfoil dinner, and it's super easy because you can pack it up before you go camping and it's ready to go. Just toss in the fire whenever you're ready. You can do peppers, you can do onions, you can do stew type stuff, you can do fajitas. The options are really endless. Luke has made a ton of different kinds of tinfoil dinners in his video, and that's just because they're awesome. They pack really well, they're super easy to cook. You just get some nice coals going, and there are so many things that you can cook for all different meals. We're just gonna be making a pretty basic one today with some steak and potatoes and some seasoning on it, just so I don't get too full with everything else we're making. But tinfoil dinners are awesome. They're used by the Outdoor Boys a lot because they're just a great option when you're out camping. So we got our tinfoil here. Like I said, we're just gonna do some sirloin steak and a potato, chop it up, throw it in here, and then we'll throw it in the fire. Just like that, we got some steak and potatoes. We'll toss on some seasoning. We'll fold her up all nice. And then we got some great coals forming down here in our fire. We'll just toss it right in there for about 30 to 45 minutes. All right, and then the third meal that is signature to the Outdoor Boys are using these boil in the bag rice things, and then various options. These things are great because you can just take them with you. Don't need to be refrigerated or anything like that. They're super light, they take up little space. And then you just have to have boiling water. You toss them in there for a few minutes, and then you got great rice. And there are also a ton of options for things you can put on top. You can put meat on the top, you can put gravy over the top, you could put curry over the top, tons of different things that taste delicious. So we've got our pot here and our stove. We're gonna get this water boiling, throw our rice in, and then we're gonna toss in a bag of pulled pork, get it heated up. I love pulled pork, so that's what we'll do today, but the options are totally endless. Luke often did some kind of chicken masala or butter chicken or curry, things like that, which are delicious. They're nice and warm, so they warm you up when you're in the outdoors, and they're pretty simple to make. Especially if your topping can be put in a vacuum sealed or freeze dried thing. It's super easy. You just got these super light things that'll be a great meal for you. All right, our last Outdoor Boys meal is kind of a mix of dessert and breakfast. It can be whatever you want, and that is some cinnamon rolls. And if you guys have watched my videos, I've done this a couple of times because I think it is just awesome. And anything in a can like this works the same. You can do biscuits like this, you can do cinnamon rolls, you can do the croissant rolls, they work great as well. And it's just super awesome because it's super easy and it tastes delicious. Can never go wrong with cinnamon rolls, whether you're at home or camping. So we get these open. We got our roasting stick here, and we're just gonna pull out 2 of these cinnamon rolls, and we just simply unravel them and wrap them around our roasting stick. And this can be a branch or a nice roasting stick like this. Doesn't matter too much, just whatever works for you. So just like that, we got our cinnamon rolls on there. And we're just gonna set these in here kind of in the coals where they can get some nice heat, but we don't necessarily want them in the direct flame just because these need to cook for 15-20 minutes or so in total, probably 10 minutes on each side. And we just want them to be hot, get about 350 degrees, which you hold your hand and where you can hold it for about 3 seconds before it gets too hot. That's about 350, 375. That'll be perfect for these. And then we'll have some delicious cinnamon rolls. Well, that is the 4 Outdoor Boys meals, talking about them and how to make them. Now let's see how good they are and get to eating. And bread and honey butter is just such a classic treat. That's what Luke is most famous for because he made it on so many different campouts and in so many different situations. But it's just awesome because it's simple to make, it's simple to cook. You can cook it on a pan or you can cook it on a shovel. And then it's just such a nice warm treat to have when you're in the outdoors. The honey butter obviously is a great addition, giving you that little bit of sweetness. And just put it together and you got one of the best treats you can have in the outdoors. For breakfast, for a snack, for a dessert, anything like that, the Outdoor Boys bread and honey butter is just awesome. That is so delicious. That is so delicious. He was not wrong. All right, we got our tinfoil dinner out. Now let's see how she tastes. Well, she got a little crispy, but not much can beat a good bite of steak and potatoes when you're in the outdoors. Just looks delicious. It's just super easy. I was doing other things while this was in the fire for about 30 minutes. And even my dog Oakley really wants some, so. Tastes so good, dog approved. Like I said, not much beats steak and potatoes. Tinfoil dinners, like I said, have so many different options for things you can cook inside of them. And they're just super easy to carry and super easy to cook, so not much more you could ask for when you're in the outdoors. So that's our tinfoil dinner. Let's move on to our next one. All right, next, I think our rice is all done, so let's get it pulled out. You can see how much it grew from when we put it in there. Just looks great. Let some of the water run out of there. And then we'll cut her open. Got some nice fluffy rice right there. And like I said, we threw some pulled pork over it. It's all just nice and warm. It smells so good. And it's just delicious. Nice fluffy white rice with some good protein in there from some pulled pork. And like I said, you could really make so many things with this. You could even just cook up some chicken and throw it in there. You could even mix it in with a tinfoil dinner, make up some peppers and some steak and throw it in your rice. Or if you really want to keep it true to the Outdoor Boys, then do some curry over your rice. But the options are just endless. Rice is just a great thing to have when you're in the outdoors. Give you energy and keep you going, and it's just delicious. So that's our third thing from our Outdoor Boys cooking, our boil in bag rice, and then whatever toppings you want to put on it. Just delicious, easy, gives you great energy for in the outdoors, super easy to carry, just a great choice. Now let's move on to our cinnamon rolls. All right, now on to our cinnamon rolls, which I've made these a bunch of times because they are just one of my favorite snacks. They just crisp up all nice, get a nice golden brown, but they're nice and fluffy and they're just delicious. And then the important thing with the cinnamon rolls is that you get the one with the cream cheese pack. So you can cut it open and drizzle it all over. And just like that, cheers with some good cinnamon rolls. Not much beats a cinnamon roll when you're in the outdoors. Just a great sweet treat that's easy to make and easy to carry and just delicious and is sure to raise your spirits when you're in the outdoors. Well, that right there is our Outdoor Boys cooking. We talked about 4 iconic recipes that the outdoor legend Luke from the Outdoor Boys would often make when he was out survival camping. And it's easy to see why. They're delicious when you're out there, when you're cold. They're warm, they warm you up, give you the nutrients you need. They're also simple to make, but a lot of them also have a lot of variety in the ways that they can be made and the things you can do to mix it up so you're not eating the same thing every time. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I had a ton of fun making it. It's always fun to try new recipes and get new ideas for things you can make when you're in the outdoors, because being in the outdoors is already the best thing ever, and you definitely don't have to have bad food when you're out there. So make sure to hit that subscribe button for family-friendly videos every Saturday. Thanks so much for the support, and I'll see you in the next video. If you like this video, make sure to check out the Outdoor Cowboy YouTube channel. We've got new videos every week, survival adventures, camping projects, tool restorations, and a whole bunch more. Hit that like button, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.